is January the 6th, and I'm going to call to order the meeting of the Historic and Architectural Review Board. And we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So my understanding is that the first order of business today is to take care of the chair and co-chair positions.
That is correct. You will do
Okay.
your annual reorganization.
Okay, annual reorganization. So do we have a nomination for chair? Me? All right. I'm the nomination for chair. All in favor? Aye. 3 ayes. All in favor? Anything else we need to say for that?
Whatever the vote is, that will carry.
Okay. And then we need a co-chair as well. Any nominations for that? Sorry, what's your name again? Miles is our nomination for co-chair. Welcome to the board. And who votes for that? All in favor? Okay, good. So we have a chair and a co-chair now. Our first order is HARB number 2016-01, 219 Pembroke Avenue. Would you like to come forward and give us a description of what you're planning to do?
Actually, this was in for approval once before. So I came to get a building permit, and then they said, the homeowner asked me to make a few little changes. So I don't know if you're looking at this drawing. It's pretty small, but this is before. This is now.
Handheld or move the microphone. Just a little on up there.
Okay. Are you there? Yep. Okay, this was what was before we started. This is what was approved, the one in the middle, and this is what they're representing now. And what we're looking at here is all we're changing is we're adding the roof between that little small area here. That's all we're actually doing. Besides, that's the only change is beyond the gable end, we're not putting that circle top window in either. But that was all the only changes that we were going to be doing. So I don't know if that's going to give us any problems or not.
So I wasn't here when this first came to us for approval. So could you just give us a little bit of background? Things like what can you see from the road or not see from the road, and a little bit about the area?
Yeah, well, this
Excuse
is
me,
all,
sir. Could you recenter the plans? So we're trying to zoom in so that we can get a better depiction of the change.
Where would you like it? Tell me where you'd like to. Well, let me see. If I go like this, we're talking about this area here. This is all behind the house. It should be, I should say it's side and behind is really where that's all at. And it's a bedroom up top at the present time, and living quarters down below. There's an open balcony right now, which just has a rubber roof on it. And what we're looking to do, that's how it is present, right as it is today. Then, I go over to this page. This is what was brought into you guys to get approvals. And what we're actually doing is we're building this section shut. Let me see, how can I lay this out? This right here, if you see this is what we're building that over top of that deck and redoing the inside. Basically, that's what we're doing there. We're putting cement board siding on it. There's I think, aluminum siding on it now. So we're taking that off and putting cement board on. Everything else below stays the same. We're putting new windows in the top that match the existing house. And going back to the new part, which is this section, I'm adding this roof. It's a flat roof at the present time. It's behind the house. And I'm doing the same thing as we were doing here before. So not a whole lot changes more than that pitched roof. It is behind the house. From the road, you can barely see it. Unless you come in the driveway, you'll see the side. But really, we don't see it more than if you're driving in the driveway and you have to basically walk around the back of the house.
And you're not putting in a circular window, you said? Where is that?
There was one presenting on this center page. Right here, you can barely see it. They just had it in there as an option, and they're not doing that. So that's not gonna go in there. It never was there. We're taking the patio door out, putting a large window in it. It's at this area right here. If you look at the back, at the beginning, this one right here, let me see if I get this right. There was a patio door and a balcony. That's coming out. We're putting a window in its place, building this, of course, coming all the way out. There's no more deck there.
All right, so if you guys have any questions, now's the time you would turn your mics on.
Appealing.
There you go, it's on now.
Did I? Okay. On the face of it, when I looked at the drawings, at the very least, it looked like a less appealing, not more appealing plan visually. So what was the reason for the change?
The reason was there's a flat roof between the addition. It's not addition, it's where we're actually building the porch in. It's an open porch now, which if you've seen these drawings, how would I do this right? Okay, well, you're looking at this drawing here, that's just your patio right now, right? And when it was approved the first time, it was approved to build that in. That was fine. And when I got to the homeowner, they said, hey, can we build a roof in here between the house and where the bedroom is now? It's actually just a peat roof. What's happening there is a flat area, leaves collect back in there, it's dirty back in there. And I said, well, yeah, I could do that. That's why I drew it in. And then when we came back to here to get a permit, they said, well, that's a change, so that's why I'm here, basically. I'm not sure if I understood your question quite right, but you're saying there's more of a change, or what were you? I didn't quite understand your question. Okay.
Now, my reaction, when I studied the plans pretty carefully today, was I'm giving you my visual reaction and wondered how this was going to turn out, because it's dicey. I mean, I have reservations, but I'm not going to stand in the way of this one because the plans had previously been approved, and I'm not.
I think it's fine. It looks like the house, which you don't really show here, but the main part of the house is the front-facing part. And my understanding is you're not even going to see this. So from a historical perspective, I'm not concerned with it.
My only concern is the continuity, the roof line that shifts. It's tough to tell from the design because we're not looking at the full plans. Is the section that appears to connect the main house with the rear portion, is that set back at all? Is that flush with the rest of the structure?
Actually, this is flush with the house. This here, if I'm correct, it stands out. So this is actually standing, how would I say it, forward. So when I'm looking back, I see this part sticking out. So this is flush with the house. And this here part is protruding outward.
Okay, and that's what I wanted to understand, and that makes sense why the height and pitch of the new pitched roof is going to differ from the existing structure.
Correct.
Okay.
It's a lower pitch correct.
All right.
What about that round window? If I'm not mistaken, you are going to alter that one round window?
Well-
Take that out?
When it was approved, this was showing as they were going to put a vaulted ceiling in here, in this part. And at this point, we're not putting a vaulted ceiling in the inside. And that would reflect that we can't go with that circle top. We just can't do it.
Face the street?
No.
That window, it doesn't?
No,
It's in
no,
the
it's in
back?
the rear, yes.
In the rear, okay.
Yep.
Without having the rest of the visual of the existing structure, are there any round top windows anywhere else in the house?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Any comments from the audience? Nope. All right. Let's go ahead and take a vote on this and see where we stand. I would like to recommend issuing a certificate of, what is it? Appropriateness for this particular location, for this project. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I think we're good.
So how soon can I apply for permits then? Would it be a week?
Sir, this agenda will be on the board meeting on the fourth Monday of the month. I think it's the 25th. For formal action, what you have tonight is a recommendation from HARB. The Board of Commissioners will make a formal approval of that. That following Tuesday is when then you can come in and apply for the building permits.
So it'd be like the first week of February, somewhere in that week.
Yes.
First Tuesday of February.
Yes, yeah, the board will need to sign it, and then you'll have to come in, or the owner will have to come in and sign the certificate of appropriateness, and then you can then get the building permits in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The second agenda item we have is HARB 2016-02. This is 237 Orchard Way.
Good evening. So our homeowners are interested in replacing their existing one-story, two-car garage with a new one-and-a-half-story, two-and-a-half-car garage. Here's the existing structure tucked over in the corner. And holding the same corner, we've reviewed this with zoning and so forth, is the new two-and-a-half-car garage. Looking at images of the existing 1928 residence, the North Williams residence by Tilden, Register, and Pepper. What they're interested in is recreating, using all the elements from the main house so that the new structure is more compatible as an accessory structure to the main house. I'll bring your attention to certain elements that are going to be recreated in the new structure. In the middle image here, you'll see the French doors, all of the engaged dormers. You'll see have curvilinear copper roofs, as well as this French doors with the little Juliet balcony. The other, you see the windows there. We have shed dormers not only on the back, but prominently displayed on the front of the house. You'll see, here's 257. The three images on the bottom are as you're coming down, heading north on Aberdeen. If you turn left onto Orchard, this is the first view you get once you come through the intersection. You see the main house. There's the existing garage. Come about mid-property, you get a full view of the existing 1928 structure. The second floor, half dormers, shed roof, and then as you come up to the other far end of the property, you get a better view of the existing garage. So the floor plan on the ground level looks like this, standard two-car garage with a little area for storage, garbage cans, kids' bikes, that sort of thing, and a stair up to a half-story space above the front. You come up the stairs here. The ridge is set towards the front to keep the scale of the building down. You'll see that dash line there is clipping roof, so there's limited headroom except right under the ridge. And so out the back, which is not viewable from street side, we're running a shed dormer similar to the shed dormers that you see on the main residence. So this is the street elevation. Two-car garage, very similar to what's existing, except more generous. The garage door is 1 foot wider to bring it up more to today's standards. A little extra space for kids' bikes, garden equipment, and so forth. You'll notice all the elements are borrowed from the main residence. The limestone band, the roof pitch matches the main residence. All the details, the cornice, soffit, the profiles, exterior casings on all the openings on the doors and the windows will match the existing of the main residence. You come over to the side, you see the window, which is a direct duplicate of the second floor of the main residence. And then you see here in the back is the shed dormer that's coming off the back. In terms of materials, it matches the existing stucco of the home. Doors are, we feel, compatible with that time period, 1928. And off to the side here, you see a small shed dormer. You can't see this from the road, but that's where the bath goes. And so we have a main structure, and we step it back just to bring the scale down, and this is really to get a little extra space and get the stair up to the second floor.
Do you know the garage that is there? I did push it.
Didn't go on.
I just need a harder push. What year was the house built?
1928.
That right on target. But
It's not original.
Is the garage a later structure?
The garage is a later structure. The original garage, though, wasn't. The original, I'll say, carriage house structure was this inverted gable that comes off the back of the house. You can see there behind the white car. In this image, as you go through the gates in this little courtyard, those windows back there, which I don't have a clear picture of, that was originally the garage, which the owners have converted into a family room.
Well, I think it would fit into the neighborhood to have more of a carriage house shaped house. In other words, they're certainly not uncommon in South Wayne. But I think it would be a more attractive garage than the one that's there.
Do you know the age of the garage that's there now?
I don't. The owners have a partial original set of drawings that I've been able to use to copy details and so forth. but there's nothing on file. There's nothing on file with the township as to the when the existing garage structure was built.
It seems to me that when you had the picture of the garage there, just the shape of it, I've seen similar in places like on Willow Avenue in Wayne. And what I do know about certain of those houses with the garages, they're kind of like an afterthought. Just an observation. So I'm more or less leaning towards what Arnie had to say in that regard.
Okay.
I'm assuming that, you know, this garage, it seems like it has a similar feel up to the ones that I saw on Willow Avenue that were just put there. I know because when I looked at a property there, the realtor was just of the opinion, knock it down, because it was just so out of place. It was just, you know, put there and that was it. Just an opinion that I wanted to share.
First, you know, I'd like to applaud you and the owners because I think that you put a lot of effort into taking a lot of the details from the main house and incorporating to your designs. The two concerns I would have, one very minor, regarding the Juliet balcony. Will it truly be a Juliet balcony in this case over the
Yes,
the garage entrance?
It'll have enough dimension to get
A few potted plants.
Exactly.
Okay. And are you? Is it going to be? Is it going to be a flat railing, or is it going to mimic what you have on the house right now, where it's curved?
I would think that we will. I don't know. It'll come down. I'll have to look at the shop drawings. If you look on this drawing, the original ironwork in this opening, the recess. Here's a good example. In this wall here, the divider between, you know, the court area and the front porch is this opening, and this is original ironwork that was also on the original drawings. So the intent is to copy that.
Sure, I understand that. I don't mean to interrupt. If you look at the bottom left image that you have on there,
It's curved.
it's
Correct.
curved.
Yeah.
And that's all I meant. Are you going to try to maintain that same look?
I would like to. It's going to come. I don't. If the difference is cost, you know, I would like to get approval for a straight Juliet, but it would definitely be preferable if it's curved.
It would be in keeping with the main structure. I mean, it would be
Yeah.
my recommendation to try to keep that. And the second, if you take a look and if you want to put up the board with the rear elevation 3A2,
Yes.
there's a complexity to the roof lines that will appear on the right-hand side, and I'm having a little bit of trouble visualizing that. Now, that's from the back. That wouldn't be seen from the street, is that correct?
That is correct. That's in the far back corner.
Okay. So the only part that you would see from the roof line, from the street, is the little bit of the corner there that butts out for where the room has to be made for the bathroom that you're incorporating. Is that right?
Yes, if you look at the three roadside images, it's really tucked back, as you can tell from the sections and elevations. It's tucked back into the hillside. Isn't quite shown here, and let me see if it's on the other, is trees and so forth.
My bigger concern is that the complexity of the roof line seems a little incongruous to the house, and I'm trying to find a reference in the existing structure that would show that that they would have similar intent in the design. That's all.
I guess if you took off the shed dormer and continued that roof line, that plane flush across, that is what the roof plane would be roofing that volume. You essentially have two volumes interconnecting. You have the main volume here that's about 3 feet proud of this step-down structure. And if you took this step-down structure, that volume, those triangles that you see there, would be the roof of that structure with the shed placed right in between.
Okay. And then finally, the stone wall, there's a part of it that needs to be removed. And do you know the approximate age of the stone wall?
The homeowners put that in.
They did.
The current homeowners.
Okay.
And there is definitely a disconnect. We're going to get a price to try and repoint it. If you see the original stonework in these images, the gates by the main house, you can tell a very clear difference that it's really kind of an unfortunate little garden wall. But and this one on the left side will stay, and that's dry laid.
So I like how you're bringing in all of the details from the main house. I
Thank you.
don't know that you see the French Juliet balcony door combination from the road anyway. So I don't know how much, I like that you're incorporating it, but I don't think it needs to match exactly. And I think that the rear does have a lot of lines, roof lines and whatnot going on, but you're not going to see that. It's from the rear. What you'll see is that side elevation on A2. You'll see a little bit of that, which I don't think is out of place with the main house. And the little copper roof from the bathroom, I don't even think you'll see from the view from the road, from the shots that you showed us. So, and there's a lot of vegetation on that side too. I think it looks good. As long as you're keeping with all of the current materials, even down to the limestone band and whatnot, I think it's going to look a bit newer than the rest, but ultimately, until it gets weathered, it's going to look like it belongs more so than what's there. And if we don't have any record of any importance to the current structure, then I'm fine with what you're planning to do there.
Right.
Historic reproduction ironwork,
We do. We do.
count your blessings.
So I think what we're going to do is just recreate that pattern, which isn't going to be two code, and then we'll have something two code, very light, even if it's a little tinsel structure or something to make it two code. But the homeowners and myself, we really want to match the detail of that ironwork.
All right, we have no audience, so I don't think we have any comments from them. So would anyone like to say that we should recommend the certificate on this one?
So I also agree that what I found really impressive was how you tried to incorporate in these other structures inspirations from the house itself. And so I also think that's a very highly positive thing, in my opinion, too.
Thank you.
So I will recommend a certificate of appropriateness at this point in time. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a vote? All in favor, say aye. Okay, looks like you're good to go.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, do we have any new business? Anyone? Any old business? Nothing? Any public participation? No public. All right then, this meeting is adjourned.